And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, you know, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Vary. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we have to talk about Caitlin Clark, the WNBA superstar, who's made that league relevant for the first time, really, in its 25-year history. But she has caved to the woke mob. She got the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year award and brought race and white privilege into the conversation now. And she's turned off a lot of people, including Megyn Kelly, who really sums it up pretty well. So we're going to hear from Megyn Kelly. And we're going to go hear from a CNN Roundtable, Abby Phillips, once again, with race hustlers Bakari Sellers and Kari Champion facing off against Scott Jennings. So without any further ado, let's go.
So she gets selected as Athlete of the Year. And what does Caitlin Clark do? Like, this woman who's a superstar, she's the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. And she's become a phenom in part because the players of the WNBA can't fucking stand her. Why? Mm-hmm. Because she's white. It's abject, absolute racism. It's total racism. She's been bullied repeatedly by the players in this league. She's been assaulted physically. She's been scratched in the eye. And
she's referring to during the games. Caitlin Clark is literally taking a beating during these games. She's getting the hell kicked out of her by the players on the opposing teams. And a lot of times it doesn't look like her teammates really give a damn that she is. They're not really going to bat for her or sticking up for her in the least when she gets really fouled exceptionally hard, flagrantly, in my opinion. But hey, she's accepting it.
I mean, all this is on camera. We've covered it repeatedly on the show. So she gets this honor. And all she has to do is continue staying above it. Thank you. I'm grateful. Love being in the WNBA, and I love my colleagues who I played with, my teammates. That's it. Instead, she decides to go racial. And what she says is she feels the need to acknowledge her white privilege. Basically, she's sorry she's white. She feels really bad about it, though, so you should give her a pass. And then she makes a point of saying the ones we really need to be celebrating are the black women on whose backs this league was built, which I have to tell you is so condescending. It's true that most of these black women have been bullying her and want her to understand it's their league. Hello, you don't own the league. Blacks don't own the league, just like whites don't own tennis or golf. Nobody owns the league.
Nobody owns any league. Sports leagues are meritocracies. You're either good enough or you're not.
This is America. Anybody can play if they're good enough. But they want her on the knee. You'll bend the knee and you'll apologize for being white, and you will suck up to the black women who built this league before you, or you will be beaten. You will be assaulted, and you will be bullied with no friends. So she does it. She finally did it. She bent the knee, self-flagellated over white privilege, and look at the black women in this league. And I have to tell you, if I were a black woman in that league, I think I'd say, screw you. Because don't treat me like I am the ugly stepsister and you are Cinderella, and no prince is going to look at me unless Cinderella says, oh, give her a little time. Oh, put her in the spotlight for a moment. I would be offended, genuinely offended by her. Like, look over there. Look at them. They're not white. They did a lot too. And here's the other thing. It's totally insincere. And here's how you know it's totally insincere. Because if Caitlin Clark really felt uncomfortable in the spotlight as the newbie who's white, because white people didn't build the league, she wouldn't have said yes to being Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year.
Great point.
So either walk the walk or don't. But what you're doing here is trying to have it both ways. You're too cute by half, and you've managed to piss off your fan base. Go ahead and look at my Twitter feed and the comments under my tweet on this. She's lost thousands of fans, maybe more, as a result of this. And you will never appease the race bullies in the WNBA, ever, because you're too popular, you're too talented, and too white. That's it.
I can't disagree with anything she just said. It's common sense. And that's it. 2 + 2 is 4. If you disagree with anything Megyn Kelly just said or have a different take, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I didn't even think of her take, how she said, I'd be offended if I was those other players. She's absolutely right. Absolutely right. I wouldn't be surprised if Caitlin Clark gets the hell beaten out of her even more next season now. You cannot appease the mob. Can't do it. I'll get more into that later on. Right now, let's go to Abby Phillips, CNN, with, like I said, the race hustlers, Bakari Sellers, Kari Champion against Scott Jennings.
It's really interesting because since she came into the league, we have to talk about the attention that she has received. She's a phenomenal player. I've never seen anybody shoot the ball the way she shoots the ball in the WNBA.
Remember what you just said. She's never seen anybody shoot the ball the way she shoots the ball.
I'm just being honest. She, early on in her collegiate career, reminded me of Steph Curry, and that's where all this attention came from.
Comparing her to Steph
But before
Curry.
she entered a league that started in 1997, there were the Lisa Leslies and the Dawn Staleys and the Cheryl Swoops of it all, who really built this league, and they weren't getting the attention because, let's face it, the league was built in a way in which it wasn't mainstream. And all she's simply saying is that I want to respect those who come before me. Now, conservatives do one of two.
She could have said that, just like you just did. I want to respect those who came before me and not brought one iota of race into the conversation. That would have been fine.
Things that I am so fascinated with, especially when it comes to her. Either they whine or they bully. So now it's time to do both. They're bullying her when she decides to just like a post about Taylor Swift post about Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris. They
Endorsing
unfollow her.
voting.
Like saying go vote. Yeah. And then they unfollow her in droves. And then she says, you know what? I am so grateful for all this money I make. I'm making more money than most of these women will ever see in their lifetime because I am a great player, but I'm also someone that they are using as their message person, that they are using me as a conduit to get their message out. And she says, no, I don't want any of that. I'm grateful. And hopefully I can shine some attention on Bakari because no one's paying attention to Bakari.
What are you talking about? That's exactly what Megyn Kelly was just referring to.
So I'm going to give Bakari some attention because you know what? Thank you for keeping this league alive, Bakari. Everything that you've done has really got to the point where I can be here and benefit in this moment. And Megyn Kelly...
She's double talking. She's going to double talk in a second. Just watch.
And she's on a knee apologizing because she's white. She's acknowledging the reverse DEI that no one wants to talk about. She has a privilege. She has been in this league for a year? And she makes more money than the people who built this league?
You just said yourself, she shoots the ball like nobody you've ever seen, including all the players you named who you said, quote unquote, built the league. And you compared her to Steph Curry, probably, I mean, the top 3 shooters in the history of the NBA. She's not a DEI. She's earned everything. Everything. I don't care if she's, I say this all the time, Martian, polka dot, purple, black, white. She's the best player in the league. Probably the best player the league has ever seen. And within 1 year, everybody knows it.
And she understands there's a reason, not because she shoots the ball well.
Again, double talk. She's there. She's getting everything because she shoots the ball well. You acknowledged it right in the beginning, where, like I just said, that she's the best shooter you've ever seen. You don't even hear yourself talk.
You're a donut. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. You're stupid.
Yes, that also helps. But there's another reason,
Helps.
Scott. There's a reason that says I'm white and it's a privilege and people love me. And I'm okay with that. But I want to also acknowledge
Was Michael Jordan white? Was Michael Jordan white? I don't think Michael Jordan was white. How loved is Michael Jordan to this day? Is Muhammad Ali white? How loved is Muhammad Ali worldwide?
Daddy, chill.
Why is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something
Why are players in the league beating the ever-living hell out of her on the court more than they beat the hell out of anybody else? Kari Champion?
that's smart, truth, and factual?
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say.
Agreed.
Because there isn't my truth or your truth. There's just the truth. And when you start using phrases like that, it tells me that
That's not true.
your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Thank you. I say it all the time. There's no her truth, his truth, my truth, your truth. There is the truth.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two.
It is true.
The attention the league got
truth.
this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But, the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're...
Lost $40 million this year. If it wasn't her, the league probably would have lost $100 million.
Talking about having respecting people who built something. What did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean?
to
What did they
possibly-
build? What do you mean? What did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
They've
How
had
does
a
it make
business
money?
model that has allowed women who have never had a professional sport here in America, in the United States of America, to play. They've kept it alive.
Yeah, the NBA has kept it alive. The men's league has kept the league alive. And every business is there to make money. Businesses aren't made to lose money.
Seeing them overseas. That's what she's built. That's what they've built.
This is the problem with the conversation about race in this country that we've
Here comes somebody who's a complete stone cold racist going to tell us about race.
never tackled. Because there are two things fundamentally wrong with what Scott said. The first is when you say things like my truth, right, and you just tune that out. My truth is just vastly different than yours. It's not.
No, how you feel might be vastly different than how he feels, but the truth is the truth.
Just the truth. In fact, one of the things I would like to just help you understand is
help me.
The definition of white supremacy. Do you know what the definition of white supremacy is?
No, let me know.
It's when you feel like equality is oppression. And for some reason,
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
It gets so entangled because people just simply want equality, and you feel like that's taking away something from you. I'm not dare saying that anybody at this table is a white supremacist, but what I am trying to do is at least educate you on what the truth is. And so we both come from different.
He's educating on what the truth is. No, you're educating on how you feel. That's what you're explaining, how you feel. You're not educating anybody on anything.
We want the same America for our children, but we come from different places. We don't necessarily want equality. Some of us just want equity, right? And
totally different argument.
all I'm saying about Caitlin Clark
That's a different statement.
Thank you.
All I'm saying about it's not a different statement. All I'm saying about
Yes,
Caitlin
it
Clark.
is.
All I'm saying about Caitlin Clark is this: I have a bias against Caitlin Clark. And
Yes,
just
you
innately.
have said it, yes.
And I wanted to be extremely clear because I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan, and she took away one championship.
She thought he was actually going to go someplace racial with that, and she was ready for it. He actually went somewhere which was, trying to be funny, where he said, "Oh, she ruined my team's chances." Hey, Bakari Champion, ready to jump all over it. And Bakari Sellers, you deep fake the right, give her a fake.
But I also recognize that Caitlin Clark knows something that this is the second point. The first point was my truth. The second point is, Scott, you cannot denigrate. You cannot simply say that Dawn Staley and Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops and all these women who do something insanely better than all of us at this table did not build anything that you can't respect. Yet the league wasn't built in a way that would make money. That's not what.
What did he just said? The league wasn't built in a way that would make money. Then why was it built? To just give these women something to do? Instead of what? Why was the league built if it wasn't built to make money? Now it's at the point where they keep the league alive because if they let it go now, they'll probably catch hell for it. They got to keep it alive now.
That's not what it was for.
But these ladies gave their all. The Sue Birds of the world. I mean, we don't even talk about the.
You go down the list.
But you can go down the list, and so that's my only point.
But
and
I
hoping
just-
that you're able to
okay,
understand that.
But Scott,
No, he doesn't understand it because anything you just said doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
you're saying,
They're
but Scott,
great
it's
basketball
no,
players. I don't
but Scott, it's
disagree with you.
disrespectful for you to say what have they built. There
That's
are
my
little,
point.
there are little children right now, little girls at home hoping that they can play in what they call the WNBA. And the reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are.
No. The reason why it's still up and running is because the NBA subsidizes it. That's just reality. I'm sorry. That's the truth. The league is there because the NBA pays for it.
Isn't it because of the investors?
No,
No,
Scott, stop it. You
no,
stop it
it's
now.
not. It's not. I was in Dickies Arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickies
Stop it.
Arena.
Everybody,
Let me just
one at a
tell you.
time,
I was in Dickies
please,
Arena.
one at a
I was in
time.
Dickies Arena on Sunday because I travel, follow my Gamecocks basketball. Something fascinating happened.
Tell us.
Dickies Arena, TCU, right? Haley Van Lith. They averaged 2,000-3,000 people a game.
Yeah.
The Gamecocks came to town with Dawn Staley. You had 9,000 people in Dickies Arena. You know who benefits from that? The concession workers, the city, etc. After the game, hundreds of people around there just to shake Dawn Staley's hand. What you have to understand, and we have to get out of this, is there's a level of empathy that we have to have and understanding that we have to have, and we have to just stop being so abrasive, caught in these social media moments when we're talking about issues of race.
This is
That's
exactly
my
what I was
only
about
ask.
to say, which is that
Here comes Abby Phillips. Instead of being a moderator, she's going to interject her opinion because she's a propagandist.
listen, Jeff and Scott, my dear colleagues, you don't have to defend this.
You don't.
Okay?
You could just say
it
it's
doesn't
good.
have to be. The idea that Caitlin Clark should be denigrated for simply saying that she entered a league that other players who came before her were black, helped build. There's nothing.
Do black players in the NBA now? Because, right, white players built the NBA. Agreed now. Black players weren't allowed to play, but they were then allowed to play in a league built by white players because they were the only ones there, right? I would never say the black players have to thank those white players. You don't have to thank anybody, white or black, either way, because if you're good enough, you get into the league. And if you're good enough, you stay in the league. You don't have to thank anybody. You thank your God-given talent. That's what you thank. And you thank your hard work and your work ethic that keeps you there. That's it.
Controversial about that, and it doesn't need to be.
It feels so bland.
Yeah, she doesn't
like
need to
bland
be.
and gracious.
Why are people attacking her for that? I don't understand.
I forgot this twerp was on.
I don't know. I feel like it says more about the people who are getting offended by it than
That's what
her.
I think
No one's offended by it, Catherine Rampell. No one's offended. Everybody's just wondering why she decided to go down this road. It's only going to hurt her, and it's only going to hurt the league. No one's offended. We're not like you. We don't get offended.
Just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like
She's
the
being
way.
gracious.
Right.
Here's the disappointment.
It's
the white privilege.
It's
Hold on one
Let him
second.
articulate this because I want to learn
I
something.
feel a little bad for her because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts. It
Why
will
do
never
you assume?
100%. And I'll compare this to politics now. These dumb milquetoast Republicans, and Scott Jennings, working for George W. Bush, knows a lot of them. They would always bend the knee, whether it be now to the woke mob or back then to just Democrats. They were hoping, oh, maybe if I go along with this crazy idea in this bill, they'll like me. And they'll never like you. In fact, when you bend the knee, when you acquiesce, they just know even more that they can kick you around. That's it. You don't bend the knee. You don't acquiesce to this nonsense.
I hate her guts.
Sorry. Caitlin Clark's talent can speak for itself. She doesn't need to go down this road. It's a road to ruin.
Why do
Yes,
you
they do.
assume
They
that
do
she
not.
is trying to pander? Isn't it
Because
also,
I hear the language. It's the language of the pandering.
Scott, listen, let's get
100%.
off the internet for 1 second. Everybody, right? This is not a conversation about wokeness, about my truth, about all that stuff, okay? I know that these are buzzwords on the internet. This is
From you.
a young woman who's working in a league where she has colleagues. She said something about her place in that league. Why do you think automatically that it can't
So
possibly be genuine?
it's the
I don't
equivalent of
understand.
me saying, you know why I wanted to be a journalist? Because I saw Barbara Walters on television. Because I saw someone that I really admired, and I liked the way she stood up for herself.
Did you say, I love that white woman, Barbara Walters? Or did you just admire Barbara Walters' ability as a journalist? See, that's a different thing. Caitlin Clark's not saying that. She's not saying, oh, the talent of the women before me, I admire them, and I'm glad that they had the talent, whether I agree with it or not. I didn't carry anything, to carry this league to this point. That's all she had to say. See, you're Barbara Walters. You didn't bring race into it, though. You became a journalist because you like Barbara Walters. Had nothing to do with her color.
It's the equivalent of me saying, you know who else I like, and go down a list of women who don't look like me, who do exactly what I do now, who gave me the dream, who gave me the opportunity.
That's fine, but you don't have to bring it into it. You don't bring race into it and say, oh, I'm so glad I got this as my race because Barbara Walters is white.
No one's offended by that statement because I am talking about the work ethic, I'm talking about the quality of what they do, and I'm talking about the ability to see the dream, and it is possible.
That's
She
not
grew
what
up watching
Caitlin Clark
Maya
did.
Moore, who happens to be black. And she said, when I saw Maya Moore, my dad would drive me an hour away to see Maya Moore play. I was like, is this a real thing? Can I live in this world?
It's
no
really-
different.
All right, let me let you get the.
Yeah, Scott, it's not really a good point. Like I said, Caitlin Clark brought race and white privilege into it. What Carrie Champion just said had nothing. She did. Barbara Walters, I admire her as a journalist. That's why I wanted to do this. Has nothing to do with the fact that Barbara Walters is white. It's just that she was a great journalist in her opinion.
Very last word.
Well, it's a good question. When I hear the phrase white privilege, sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer.
It's a meritocracy.
And it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting.
So there you go. I mean, it's a meritocracy, sports. The left hates sports. They hate the NFL, which is why they tried to bring the NFL down. with Colin Kaepernick. They don't want meritocracy. Nothing about them, nothing about their whole philosophy has to do with meritocracy. It has to do with everything we just saw. Race, gender, identity. All about identity. Forget about meritocracy. They don't want meritocracy. They don't really like the idea that sports is a stone cold meritocracy, especially at the pro levels and the college levels, at high college levels. All meritocracy. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, purple, polka dot, or from Mars. If you can play, you play. If you can not play, you will not play. It's that simple. If you play better than somebody else, you get paid more. Bottom line, the ultimate meritocracy model is professional and high-level college sports in this country. Nothing else comes close. And they hate it. And they want to bring race into it to try to bring it down. And if Caitlin Clark goes down this road that she just started walking on now, she's on the road to ruin it. All this headway that she's made with bringing fans, dads bringing their little girls to the game, all that stuff's going to go away. Because I'm not bringing my daughter. I don't want my daughter, living her life based on the fact that she's this color or that color. And that goes for any father, white father, black father, Hispanic father. The normal people, I always say the normal people, don't want identity to be what gets their kids, especially their kids, where they're going to go. They want hard work, and they want it based on meritocracy. End of story. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate you watching. Follow me on X at Opinions Vary, TikTok at Opinions Vary. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.